I'm 17. My family has always been fighting for freedom.
For generations, Cubans have fought to define their own future, and for many in exile, that still means freeing their country from its regime. After Fidel Castro seized power in 1959, Cuba was transformed almost overnight. Private businesses were nationalized, political opposition was crushed, and the island aligned with the Soviet Union at the height of the Cold War. Just around 145 kilometers from Florida, the United States saw a communist government in Cuba and a close ally of the Soviet Union as a direct threat. It drew up plans to overthrow Castro's regime, plans that ultimately failed. Now, decades later, a new promise of bringing down the Cuban government is stirring old hopes.
Yeah, Cuba's going to be next. Cuba's a mess. It's a failing country, and they're going to be next.
If his term ends and nothing has happened in Cuba, it will be felt like a bigger treason than any other administration.
And now we have an opportunity that may be some sort of a solution.
I know that it's going to be liberated.
In Miami, many Cuban exiles say the crisis back home feels more urgent than ever.
They die of hunger in the streets. They don't have medicine, they don't have food, they don't have water. The government doesn't have the resources to take care of the basic needs.
Some people are exiling themselves to Haiti. I can imagine the level of desperation when you think you're going to have a baby. I have 2 grandchildren. One is 9, one is 4. The thought of putting them in a wooden raft to escape that, when you know that thousands have died trying, I cannot imagine what that would be.
Carlos, Raymond, and Leonard remember the events of 65 years ago. In 1961, they served in Brigade 2506, a CIA-backed unit of Cuban exiles trained and armed by the United States government. Their goal was to return to Cuba, overthrow Fidel Castro, and ignite a national revolt. The mission would be known as the Bay of Pigs invasion.
The brigade wouldn't accept me because I was too young, and my father had to sign my papers. My father didn't sign my papers, and my uncle signed pretending he was my father. We went to the training camp in Guatemala.
Under CIA's supervision, they trained in secret camps, preparing for an invasion they hoped would free their country.
My training was jumping from a 55-gallon tank to learn how to land. 3 days before the invasion, they changed me to an assistant to a .30 caliber machine gun. So I went to Cuba and I had never seen a .30 caliber machine gun. Most of the people were incredibly excited. We're finally gonna go, I'm like, I don't think I have training enough for do what is asked of me. But of course, you know, you get in the excitement of everybody. No fear, and that is something that is always surprised me. No fear.
But once they landed on Cuban shores, the operation quickly fell apart. The invasion force met with heavier than expected resistance, and a hope for popular uprising never came.
The element of surprise was killed because we should have taken the town without making any noise, not shooting anybody. And you know, all of a sudden, like the night came a light because you could see the tracer bullets coming in and out. I was holding the side of the ship, watching this thing, and it gave me the sensation that all of those tracer bullets were going to hit me in the head, you know. In the peak of our success, Kennedy withdraws his support and betrays us. He left us stranded.
As the mission began to crumble, US air support was reduced, abandoning the exiles on the beach. In just 3 days, the mission had failed, reinforcing Castro's rule and pushing Cuba even closer to the Soviet Union.
We didn't have with what to fight. And we were, fighting, in front of them. And all of a sudden, everybody ran out of ammunition. So what do? You gotta surrender.
Of the roughly 1,400 exiles who landed in Cuba, about 100 were killed and nearly 1,200 were captured.
We were 210 in one room, sleeping on nothing. We had no possessions whatsoever. Sleeping on the floor. But the worst of it was the hygiene. One toilet. You never made it to the toilet because there were 100 ahead of you. So you're barefoot, you're only in shorts and a t-shirt. You walking on what the other people that didn't make it and you're spreading that where you sleep.
After nearly 2 years, they were released in exchange for $53 million in US aid. Many rebuilt their lives in Miami, but their hope for a post-communist Cuba remains.
That intended to establish in Cuba the freedom, liberty, the same type of system of law that we have here in the United States. Miami is a very good example of what Cuba could have been, where we had stayed without a communist government.
No, it was a privilege. You had the opportunity to do something in your life that is so much larger than yourself, that you're going to participate in an action that is going to have so many, positive results for so many people. And hey, I'm allowed to be a part of that. That was a privilege.